Hi, so today I want to share a video on some of my favorite divination decks. Um, there's a lot of people that study Vedic astrology that are also interested in tarot, and these are the ones that I found to be really easy to use for the beginner and the experienced alike. And it can also help understand the systems better uh, through using different forms of divination and experimenting with your experience to see um, how these different decks open up your understanding to Jyotish, to Ayurveda, to yoga, uh, to self-realization, really, essentially, which is what we're doing with all of this. So I'll start with the deck that I used, the cards from the 2024 Parashara conference talk. I based it on the cards from this deck, which is the Aleister Crowley Thoth deck. And I'll just show you one of the cards. So the reason why I chose this deck is because it's pretty big. This is a larger size one. As you can see, the card here has a planetary glyph here and also a planetary glyph here on the bottom. Now this is one of the numerical ones, not one of the trumps, so it won't have the other associations on there. Let's see if I can find one. Here we go. This is a great card, one of my favorites. The Empress. This is why I chose this deck, because of the unique imagery that was used, but also the practitioners that created this deck, which were Aleister Crowley and Lady Frieda Harris. I also spoke about them at my 2024 Parashara conference talk about their impact. Because they studied Hinduism, they folded a lot of that imagery into these cards. Now, if you look here, there is a glyph down here and also a Hebrew association. Now, those are also keys to understanding the greater mysteries that are embedded in the tarot. So this is a great deck. It's really beautiful. The next deck that I really enjoy using is the Osho deck. So this is the Osho Zen Tarot, and there's also a book that comes with it. Now here's one of the images. This is beautiful. It's a very Buddhist, Hindu, but also not really tied to any religion. So it's essentially a very Zen deck. It kind of has all of the attributes to it. It's not going to directly talk about Hinduism as much. It's going to be more of a Buddhist Zen perspective. But here's one of the so-called more negative cards, and it's a more modern illustrative form. So this is a great deck to use. And the next tarot deck that I'm going to talk about, and it's the last one, this is the Maya Tarot deck. And here's the back artwork. It's really small birds. And here's some of the imagery here. Now, like the Crowley deck, now this author was inspired by Aleister Crowley, and he does use the planetary attributions here, along with the sign. So this is the Scorpio, and then that there looks like a moon, right? And then we have the Six of Cups. It's a very unique deck. It's using a lot of the ancient Maya imagery. Let me find one of the trumps so you can see how beautiful this deck is and why I chose this one. Oh, here we go. This is a great one. The Moon card. So it has the number down here written in the traditional Mayan form of the count with the dots and the lines. And this is a play on the Crowley card directly. So if you find the Crowley card for the moon, let's see if I can pull that one up really quick, you can see how the two are connected through their own lineage, you can say, because a lot of the times people that will study under a master, they are part of a lineage. So this guy that created the Maya deck, he studied the Crowley deck, was inspired enough to do a Mayan take on it using the Mayan calendar, Mayan deities, the Mayan numerical system, but using the influence of Crowley. Now here's the moon card. This is awesome right here. So here's the comparison of the two. Now the difference is, of course, going to be down here with the glyphs that are talked about, and the planetary attribution here is Pisces, and this one doesn't have one. So that's a slight difference there. So these are the 3 decks that I find to be very compatible with Jyotish and Vedic astrology concepts. And the next 3 decks I'm going to talk about are going to be the more of a divination decks that can help understand some of the more esoteric and advanced topics in Hinduism, Vedic astrology. So I'll start with the Gods and Goddesses deck. Someone gifted me. This is a great deck. It's really beautiful. And why I chose this deck is because it has the Hindu gods with their mantras. So I'll just show you. Here's Indra. So Indra is a deity that's talked about a lot in Jyotish. So in the back here it has a mantra, meditation. And then also another very famous image that you might notice through a lot of Hindu studies or Vedic studies. Here we'll go with this one here. Since we're in an Ayurvedic lineage, we'll go with Dhanvantari. Now, Dhanvantari is not a deity that's really talked about a lot outside of Ayurveda. So this is a great card because you have an image of what Dhanvantari looks like, a mantra on the back, and some facts about him. So this is the Hindu Gods and Goddesses deck. And the next one I want to talk about that I really like is this Land Sky Oracle. This is more like yoga and you could say Hinduism, but the Yoga Sutras. So here you go. This is great. This one's Ahimsa. And there's a little booklet that talks about what the cards are. And let's see. Let me find another card that has a great image. So the back is really pretty. It's a well-designed deck, easy to use. Here we go. Anulom Vilom Pranayama. So this is a really nice deck to kind of learn the concepts. Has a little booklet. Each one has like a definition and a Yoga Sutra explanation. So it's a good way to learn the Yoga Sutras as well. And the final deck that I'm going to talk about that I really like, it's a little bit harder to get. This is the Yogini of Hirapur Oracle. So if you're interested in the Yoginis and studying female deities of the area of Nepal, northern India, the more Shakta tantric path, these are great cards. So here we go. Here's a great one, Chandika. And they're circular because they are in the form of the goddess, and also the Yogini temple is in this shape. So this is a mandala of the Yogini temple outline, and you go into each of the 64 Yoginis, and they are, let's see if I can find a really famous Yogini that maybe everybody knows. Here you go. Let's go with this one. Varahi. So these are really, really great if you're into like the goddess studies and you want to learn the yoginis. This one I had to find online. They're only available in Italy, but there's a way to get them, I'm sure. You can look at, it's by Sutra Arti Performative. And I'll put all the names of these decks below. So I hope that this helped you find some decks to work with for all of those new to Jyotish, maybe new to even tarot. These are great decks that I like. Of course, there's a lot of decks, and there's a lot of reason to choose a deck, but keep it simple. You know, just pull one card and meditate on it, see what you get, because a lot of times in the ancient traditions, you were just given one image to work with. You didn't even have a card. The cards were a later invention. You were given one image to study and meditate on. And that's really, truly the best way to learn how to work with tarot cards. There's no right or wrong way. You can learn all the fun spreads, but really you're training your intuition to understand symbolism. So, namaste. Thank you. If you like these videos, please share them with others. They are for learning purposes.